University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello. Proof there is life after death tonight in the first of two playoffs between teams who lost their first-round matches but did so with scores higher than the winning totals in some other contests. Now, in recent years, several institutions have become series champions after surviving by this rule. Lincoln College Oxford looked like dead certs to win their first-round match when their opponents, Manchester University, obliged them by spending the first few minutes in the minuses. But victory was snatched away from tonight's four by the narrowest, cruelest margin of 5 points. Still, their losing score of 175 is the highest of the four teams in these playoffs. Let's meet them again.
Hi, I'm Victor Jones. I'm from South Africa and I'm reading for a doctorate in plant sciences.
Hi, I'm Michael Hopkins, originally from Haywards Heath in West Sussex, and I'm reading biochemistry.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Jackie Thompson. I'm from Orange County, California, and I'm reading for a doctorate in experimental psychology.
Hi, I'm Hugh Reid. I'm from Winchester, and I'm reading for a doctorate in history.
The team from Lancaster University were in contention for most of their first-round match against Pembroke College, Cambridge, but they faded towards the finish and came away with 140 points to their opponents' 200. Their strengths on that occasion included exhibits at Tate Modern, obscure European ossuaries and place names ending in Stan. Let's see what sort of form they're on tonight.
Hi, I'm Alan Webster from Blackpool, and I'm reading for a Masters in Resource and Environmental Management.
Hi, I'm Anne Crouchmore. I originally come from Chesterfield in Derbyshire, and I'm studying for a PhD in environmental modelling.
And here's their captain.
Hello, I'm George Pinkerton. I'm from Surrey, and I'm studying history, philosophy and politics.
Hi, my name's Ian Dixon. I'm from Stirling, and I'm studying for an MSc in ecology and the environment.
OK, well, to say the rules are ossified would be to understate things. So you all know them. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. In March 2012, which reference work announced that it would stop...
Lancaster Webster.
Encyclopaedia Britannica.
Correct. Right, the first set of bonuses, Lancaster, are on lost hands. Firstly, for 5 points. Which major literary figure lost the use of his left hand as a result of wounds sustained during the Battle of Lepanto in 1571?
Literary figure. Well, that's in about 1500, so... Cervantes?
It was Cervantes, yes. Lord Nelson's right hand and arm were amputated as a result of wounds received during a landing in 1797 at which of the Canary Islands?
I think it's Tenerife.
It was Tenerife, yes. And later a commander in the Crimean War, which soldier had his right hand amputated after Waterloo and gave his name to a type of sleeve that was designed for him to wear after his injuries?
It was Lord Raglan.
Correct. Right, 10 points for this. Quote, in adolescence I hated life and was continually on the verge of suicide, from which, however, I was restrained by the desire to know more mathematics.
Lincoln Thompson.
Bertrand Russell.
Correct. Your bonuses are on the works of George Eliot. In each case, name the novel from its closing lines. Firstly, "Oh, father," said Eppie, "what a pretty home ours is. I think nobody could be happier than we are."
Do you know George Eliot? Mill on the Floss. Mill on the Floss?
No, that's from Silas Marner. Oh. Secondly, the growing good of the world is partly dependent on unhistoric acts, and that things are not so ill with you and me as they might have been is half owing to the number who lived faithfully a hidden life and rest in unvisited tombs.
Middlemarch.
That is correct. And finally, the tomb bore the names of Tom and Maggie Tulliver, and below the names it was written, "In their death they were not divided."
That is George Eliot, isn't it? Mill on the Floss.
Correct. 10 points for this starter question. Give me both of the following terms used in physics which differ by a single letter. One refers to a process or medium that is not dependent on direction. The other means pertaining to versions of an atom or nucleus that contain different numbers of neutrons.
Lancaster Pinkerton.
Isotope and speed.
No. Anyone like to buzz from Lincoln College?
Lincoln Jones.
Isotope and isotone.
No, it's isotropic and isotopic. 10 points for this. Quote, it consists in doing and saying things that cause shame to the victim simply for the pleasure of it. These words form part of Aristotle's definition of what six-letter term? In modern usage, it describes an excess of pride or ambition that ultimately causes the...
Lancaster Pinkerton.
Hubris.
Hubris is correct, yes. Second set of bonuses for you. They're on magnetism. What name is given to the weak effect which consists of the repulsion of magnetic flux away from the surface of the material?
Do we know at all? Guesses? Repulsion.
No, it's diamagnetism. What term describes those materials which are attracted to the poles of a magnet but which do not retain magnetization in the absence of an applied magnetic field?
Magnetic.
No, it's paramagnets. And finally, what term describes materials such as iron which can be permanently magnetized?
Magnetic again.
No, it's ferromagnetic. 10 points for this. Which epic poem ends with these lines? The world was all before them where to choose their place of rest, and Providence their...
Lincoln Jones.
Paradise Lost.
Correct. These bonuses are on the Armed Forces, Lincoln College. Firstly, for 5, often abbreviated to MID and ranking below the Military Cross, what is the oldest commendation for gallantry and other exceptional services in the British Armed Forces?
Mentioned in dispatches.
Nominate Jones.
Mentioned in dispatches.
Correct. Initially bronze, which emblem was introduced in 1920 to identify those who have been mentioned in dispatches during World War I?
Military cross?
No, it's an oak leaf. In the UK, those mentioned in dispatches will have their names published in which journal, the official organ of the British government and appointed medium of various official announcements?
Sorry?
Is it Hansard? What's the
Hansard?
department? Yeah. Worth a shot, yes.
Let's have it, please.
Nominate Hopkins.
Hansard?
No, that's the record of Parliament. It's the London Gazette. We're going to take a picture round now with the scores very evenly matched. Your picture starter is the title of a well-known philosophical work in its original language. For 10 points, I want the English title and the author.
Lincoln Reed.
Critique of Divine Reason by Kant.
Nope. Anyone want to buzz from Lancaster? You may not confer, one of you may buzz.
Lancaster Pinkerton.
The critique of pure reason.
It is the Critique of Pure Reason by Kant. Yes, here's the whole thing. Let's have a view. So we follow on from that starter question with picture bonuses, 3 more philosophical titles, all in the original language. In each case, I want the English title and the author. Firstly, for 5.
The Politics by Aristotle.
No, we'll see the whole thing. It's Plato's Republic. Second, this work of the 1st century BC.
I think it's Pliny the Elder's on
No, it's
the
not.
natural
It's
things.
Lucretius's On the Nature of Things. And finally, this work.
War of Golf is not a place. Do we know? War or something.
Let's have it.
Something about the Gulf War. We don't know.
OK, it's Baudrillard's The Gulf War Did Not Take Place. Right, 10 points for this. In sociology, what 2-word term describes the hierarchical arrangement of individuals according to wealth, status and power that was deemed necessary by such functionalists as Talcott Parsons?
Lincoln Thompson.
Caste system.
No. Lancaster, one of you buzz?
Lancaster Pinkerton.
Social hierarchy.
No, it's social stratification. 10 points for this. Since 1961, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry has defined the unified atomic mass unit as the equivalent of 1/12 of the mass of an atom of which isotope?
Lincoln Hopkins.
Carbon 12?
Carbon 12 is correct, yes. You'll take the lead if you get these bonuses. They're on a play by Shakespeare, also the subject of a work by Chaucer. Which pair of lovers are the title characters of a play by Shakespeare set during the Siege of Troy?
Troilus and Cressida.
Correct. In the dramatis personae of Troilus and Cressida, which character is described as a deformed and scurrilous Greek?
Maybe Nestor. Nestor?
No, it's Thersites. Born 1631, which poet laureate rewrote Troilus and Cressida, intending, as he put it, to uncover the jewels of Shakespeare's verse hidden beneath a heap of rubbish?
Dryden.
Dryden is correct. 10 points for this. Listen carefully. Answer as soon as your name is called. The distinctive tricolour flag of the liberation leader Francisco de Miranda forms the basis of the national flags of 3 Latin American countries. 10 points if you can name 2 of them.
Lancaster Dixon.
Venezuela and Colombia.
Correct. The other one is Ecuador. Right, even set of bonuses, this time back on level pegging. They are on pairs of words whose spelling differs only in the substitution of a final letter L for a letter R. For example, brother and brothel. In each case, give both words from the definitions. Firstly, an item of movable property and a verb meaning to engage in rapid, inconsequential talk.
Yeah. Chattel and chatter.
Correct. Secondly, a small or squalid dwelling and the collective noun for a group of trout, or a verb meaning to rest on a cushion of air.
Yeah. Hover and hovel.
Correct. And finally, a divine messenger and an abstract noun meaning hot displeasure, wrath or annoyance.
Angel and anger.
Correct. 10 points for this. Although actually fought on Breed's Hill above Charlestown, Boston, what name is that used?
Lancaster Pinkerton.
The Battle of Bunker Hill.
Correct. These bonuses are on football, Lancaster. In 1889, which Lancashire club became the first Football League champions? The club were champions in the next season and runners-up in the next 3 seasons.
Preston North End.
Correct. In 1926, which Yorkshire club became the first to win the English First Division Championship 3 times in succession? They've not won a major trophy since.
No, they have.
Right.
No.
Please?
Bradford.
No, it's Huddersfield Town. Bradford would be mortified to hear you say that. What was the next club to win the league championship in 3 successive years? I want the name of the club and the decade in which they achieved the feat.
Well, Wolverhampton.
Oh, right. Wolves.
No, it was Arsenal in the 1930s. 10 points for this. In 1824, the Norwegian mathematician Niels Henrik Abel proved that there is no general formula involving radicals for the solution of polynomial equations of which degree?
Lincoln Thompson.
5th.
Correct. OK, these bonuses are on winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. The 1973 Nobel Peace Prize was awarded jointly to Lê Duc Tho, who declined the prize, and to which other recipient who did accept it?
1973. Kissinger.
It was Henry Kissinger. In 2010, Chinese state media censored news of the announcement that which imprisoned dissident was to be awarded that year's Peace Prize?
Ai Weiwei.
It was an artist.
Ai Weiwei.
No, it was Liu Xiaobo. And finally, the closest of strangers is how a headline in the Washington Post described which 2 joint winners of the prize in 1993.
1993. Could that be with like the Soviet Union? Gorbachev. Gorbachev and Reagan.
Did he win? I don't know.
Gorbachev and Reagan.
No, it was Nelson Mandela and F.W. de Klerk. Right, well, it's a pretty close match, this, and we're halfway through it. We're going to take a music round. For your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of popular music. 10 points if you can give me the name of the song.
Babe, you're getting closer. The lights are going dim. The sound of your breathing has made the mood I'm in. All of my resistance lying on the floor.
OK, I think we've heard enough now to establish no one has the faintest idea what it is. It was Elvis Presley singing Way Down, so music bonuses shortly. Another starter question in the meantime. In a well-known portrait by the photographer Robert Howlett, which engineer is pictured in front of the giant chains of...
Lancaster Dixon.
Brunel.
Brunel is correct, yes. So, Way Down, which we heard a moment or two ago, was recorded at the Jungle Room sessions at Elvis Presley's residence Graceland in 1976, a year before his death. For your bonuses, 3 more songs recorded at those same sessions at Graceland. Simply name the song in each case. Here we go.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
I don't like Elvis.
Just pretend that we're together all alone.
Any song?
Let's have it, please.
We don't know.
That's He'll Have to Go. And secondly...
Well, it's hard to be a gambler betting on the number that changes every time. When you think you're gonna win, you think she's giving in. A stranger's all you'll find. Yeah, it's hard to figure out what she's all about, but she's woman through and through.
Let's have it, please.
She's a lady.
No, it's his last number one, Moody Blue. And finally...
But come me back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow.
We don't know.
It was Danny Boy. Right, 10 points for this. In the 19th century, which pair of writers wrote both the German dictionary Deutsches Wörterbuch and a series of stories published in the collection Household...
Lincoln Thompson.
The Brothers Grimm.
Yes. These bonuses are on Scottish Literature, Lincoln College. Subtitled A Life in 4 Books and including his own illustrations, Lanark is a work of 1981 by which author?
1981. I don't know any Scottish novels. Banks?
No, it's by Alistair Gray. Secondly, 5 points. Which Scottish writer and comedian won the 2007 Costa Prize for the novel Day? Her other works include On Bullfighting and Paradise.
Mantel.
No, that's A.L. Kennedy. And finally, making her debut in 1997 with Like, which Scottish writer's novel The Accidental was shortlisted for the Booker Prize in 2005?
Sarah Waters.
No, it's Ali Smith. 10 points for this. Based on a plot by the Egyptologist Auguste Mariette Bey, which opera was commissioned from Giuseppe Verdi by...
Lincoln Thompson.
Aida.
Yes. Right, these bonuses are on geometry. In 3 dimensions, what operation takes 2 vectors as its input and outputs another vector which is perpendicular to them?
Could be. Cross product?
Correct, the cross or vector product, yes. What is the only dimension higher than 3 in which a similarly defined vector product exists?
Only dimension higher than 3. 5. Just pick a number. 5.
No, it's 7.
Oh.
The magnitude of the cross product of 2 vectors is the product of the vector's individual magnitudes and what trigonometric function?
The individual
Sine of
magnitudes.
the angle between them and the cos of it. I can't remember which one.
Let's see. The sine of the angle between them?
Between the 2 vectors, yes, that's correct. 10 points for this. Which nocturnal African mammal is the only extant animal classified in the...
Lancaster Dixon.
Aardvark.
Aardvark is right, yes. We retake the lead, and these bonuses are on Church of England diocese. During the 1540s, Henry VIII established 5 new dioceses. 2 of these were in former Roman towns, one on the River Dee, the other on the Severn. For 5 points, name both.
Chester. Did you have Aberdeen? Chester's on the Dee.
Chester and
on the Severn. Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's have it, please.
Chester and Hereford?
No, it's Chester and Gloucester. Which city in North Yorkshire gives its name to a diocese established in 1836, the first since the 16th century?
Yes, it might be actually. There's Ripon Cathedral, isn't there? Is it Ripon?
It is, yes. Which diocese in Cornwall was created in 1877?
Truro. Is there a Truro Cathedral? Right. Truro?
Truro is correct. 10 points for this. Founded 1826 as a satirical weekly gossip sheet on the arts, which newspaper is now France's oldest daily paper and is named
Lancaster Webster.
Le Figaro?
Le Figaro is correct, yes. These bonuses are on botany, Lancaster. In what specific part of a flowering plant are the integuments, chaliza and nucellus found?
Stamens.
Right, okay. No idea at all. Right, the stamens?
No, it's the ovule. Secondly, what term denotes the pore in the ovule through which the pollen tube usually enters prior to fertilization?
It's not something like the egg duct or anything like the seed duct.
The only thing I think is stomata, but that's not it. That's not it.
Right.
Come on, let's have it, please.
The egg duct, seed
No,
duct.
it's the micropyle. And finally, from the Greek meaning to join or to yoke, what term denotes the initial cell formed from two haploid gametes?
Is that the zygote? No.
Or it's diploid.
Right,
Or
okay.
zygote maybe, actually.
Right. Diploid?
No, it's a zygote. 10 points for this starter question. It's a picture question. You're going to see a photograph of a political figure. 10 points if you can give me her name.
Lancaster Webster.
No, you buzz, you must answer. I'm sorry. Lincoln College, one of you may buzz.
Lincoln Reed.
Christine Kirker?
No, it's Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF. OK, 10 points for this. The Labour Party and Political Change in Scotland, 1918 to 29, the politics of 5 elections, is the title of the doctoral thesis submitted in 1981 by which public figure?
Lincoln Thompson.
Alex Salmon.
No. One of you buzz from Lancaster.
Lancaster Pinkerton.
Gordon Brown?
Gordon Brown is correct. So we revert to the picture round. Picture bonuses are on photographs of prominent women, all voted into the top 10 of the Forbes 2011 list of the world's 100 most powerful women. 5 points for each person you can identify. Firstly,
Sonia Gandhi?
correct. Secondly,
Argentina. No.
I don't have it that long.
Not what, Christina Kircher? Is it Christina Kircher?
no, it's Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook. And finally,
Maybe that's her. Any idea?
let's have it, please.
Christina Kircher again.
No, it's Bill Gates' Mrs. Melinda. 10 points for this. Given a 2x2 matrix with top row AB and bottom row CD, what name is given to the associated quantity AD minus BC?
Lincoln Hopkins.
The determinant?
Correct. These bonuses are on diseases in fiction, Lincoln College. Set in a Congolese village, which novel by Graham Greene has a title that refers in part to those suffering from leprosy?
I don't know, Graham Greene.
I think it was Heart of the Matter. That's in Africa, but it's not in the Congo. I don't think that's right.
The Heart of the Matter.
No, that's completely wrong. It's a burnt-out case. In which novel by Ian McEwan does the neurosurgeon Henry Perrone diagnose that Baxter, his assailant, is suffering from Huntington's disease?
Sorry?
Saturday.
Saturday?
I'm not sure.
Saturday?
Saturday is correct. In which novel by Gabriel Garcia Marquez are the effects of love likened to and mistaken for the symptoms of a bacterial
100 Years
infection?
of... Sorry? Love in the Time of Cholera.
Correct.
Sorry.
OK, 3 minutes ago, 10 points for this. Etymologically unconnected. Meanings of what short word include a culinary herb often used in infusions and a place where money is coined?
Lancaster Webster.
Mint.
Mint is correct, yes. These bonuses are on one-act ballets. The one-act ballet choreographed by Robert Helpman for the Sadler's Wells Ballet in 1944 concerned a miracle in which area of Glasgow?
Garbles.
Nominate Dixon.
The Garbles.
Correct. Les Patineurs, a plotless ballet with music by Meyerbeer, has a demanding choreography which requires its dancers to portray what eponymous activity?
Any kind of activity that would be difficult.
Let's have it,
to try
please.
to dance.
Come on.
I don't know. Fighting.
No, it's skating. Set to music by Tchaikovsky, which ballet is based on Chekhov's play The Three Sisters?
Nutcracker or something?
Yeah, go for it.
The Nutcracker?
No, Winter Dreams. 10 points for this. What former industrial activity links the sites of Eastlands in Manchester and the Stadium of Light?
Lancaster Webster.
Gasworks.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. And the Stadium of Light in Sunderland?
Lincoln Hopkins.
Shipworks.
No, it's coal mining, collieries. 10 points for this. The capital of Picardy until 1790, which city on the River Somme is home to the Cathedral of Notre Dame, the largest church in France?
Lincoln Reed.
Reims.
No, one of you buzzed Lancaster?
Lancaster Kretschmar.
Rouen.
No, it's Amiens. 10 points for this. The daughter of which national leader wrote the memoir 20 Letters to a Friend, first published in 1967 after her defection from the Soviet Union to the USA via India?
Lancaster Webster.
Joseph Stalin.
Correct. These bonuses are on human anatomy. In which bone is the glenoid cavity found? Come on, let's have it, please.
Female.
Come on.
The ankle bone.
No, it's the scapular or shoulder blade. The head of which bone articulates with the glenoid cavity?
The humerus.
Correct. And at the gong, Lincoln College, Oxford have 120, Lancaster University have 165. Well, it was a pretty close match. Lincoln, we shall have to say goodbye to you, I'm afraid. Lancaster, we shall look forward to seeing you in the next stage of the competition. Congratulations. I hope you can join us next time for another playoff. But until then, it's goodbye from Lincoln College, Oxford.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Lancaster University.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.